One of the beauties of sports is the story of the underdog, the improbable rise of someone who had to fight through adversity where the road is often turbulent and complex. There are few underdog stories greater than the one of Papua New Guinea native Justin Olam, a man who came from incredibly humble beginnings to representing his nation on rugby league's biggest stage. Let's go on a journey through the great career of Justin Olam. Justin was one of 4 children who grew up in the remote town of Gon, a small village in the Sini Yongumul district of the Simbu province. Olam lived a modest life, growing up in the highlands of Papua New Guinea, where he'd walk up and down hills to fetch water for his family. He attributes his lifestyle as a young kid, where he would trek around his village harvesting vegetables, coffee and peanuts as the foundation to his strong frame. Olam's village of Gon has a population of 300 people with access to stable electricity dependent on both generators and solar power. The people of Gon shower in waterfalls and cook their meals with firewood. As a kid, Justin Olam loved rugby league, idolising PNG great Marcus Bai. He would walk 90 minutes from home to the nearest TV, where they would cross through 3 rivers and harsh terrains. Exhibition matches were organised through letters sent to other villages, which would often take 2 weeks to materialise. Olam and his local team would sometimes walk 4 hours for matches and sleep in the village overnight and return the next day. Remember, these were just friendly matches, often on muddy tracks with a Coke bottle filled with grass, used as the ball sometimes. Olam would not play organised junior rugby league throughout his childhood. In fact, Olam would not play the sport for 2 whole years because of the wishes of his mother after breaking a collarbone. His parents were very focused on Justin's education, which is why Olam studied an applied physics degree at the PNG University of Technology. Uni was incredibly important to Olam and his family, and it was his only ticket out of his home village. At this time, Olam was 18 and rugby league was not even a part of the equation. He said, "I love the game, but it didn't seem realistic for me to play." Uni was a blessing in disguise though for Olam, as it gave him access to organised rugby league for the first time in his life. While studying, Olam would play his first proper rugby league games representing the Unitech Spartans and Lisnack Tigers in the National League. Having access to weights and exercise equipment was huge for Olam, as he built a bigger frame. Initially playing lock, Olam would be moved into the centres, where he modelled his game around bruiser Steve Maddai. Whilst completing his applied physics degree, which by the way is not a simple degree, Olam would be spotted by scouts of the PNG Hunters, which would get his career off the ground. 2016 would be a breakout year for Olam as he featured for the PNG Kumuls for an international match against Fiji. This was Olam's first appearance for the Kumuls and first time in Australia. Olam remarked that he felt sadness and homesick as he was alone and in a new country with not even a player agent. Olam would be part of PNG history though, as the Kumuls won for the first time on international soil in 16 years. Olam would play a season at the PNG Hunters and had a successful 2016 campaign. An absolute tank with the ball, he showed immense power and speed, absolutely bulldozing opponents, scoring numerous breakaway tries. After being approached in round 5 by the Storm management, Olam was aware that the Storm had their sights on him. He was far and away the Hunters' standout player, which is why at mid-season he was given a contract by the Melbourne Storm, becoming the first PNG Hunter to receive an NRL contract. He said he sat on the PNG Hunters field alone after hearing the news, saying it was a dream come true. It felt like a fairy tale. Olam would finish out the season with the Hunters with 14 tries and would win the 2016 Queensland Cup 4X People's Choice Player of the Year award, an achievement that would wrap up his breakout debut year with the Hunters. The 2017 season would see Olam play for Melbourne Storm feeder club the Sunshine Coast Falcons, where Olam would become acclimatised to the Storm system. It was safe to say that this was an incredibly steep learning curve for Olam, with Olam's tactical knowledge scarce outside of just running the ball hard. Olam said, "In my first year here the coaches would send me video clips showing me everything I was doing wrong, and it felt like I couldn't do anything right." The Melbourne Storm were adamant on leaving Olam's outstanding ball running abilities unchanged, but required him to be a smarter player outside of those natural abilities if he was to play for the Storm. Olam said he would receive 20 to 30 clips after games of mistakes he was making, almost feeling like the club was attacking him. He did understand that to make it at the next level, he would have to work with his coaches, which is what he did. These hiccups were understandable, with Olam only exposed to rugby league whilst in university, a vast difference to the development of players like Sam Walker or Joseph Suwali, who featured in the NRL before the age of 19. Despite Olam's struggles acclimatising to the Melbourne Storm system, Justin came away with the 2017 Queensland Cup Best Centre of the Year award as he edged closer to making his NRL dream a reality. Quick ad from the sponsor of this video, Manscaped. Happy New Year's from our friends over at Manscaped. The ball has officially dropped, but that does not mean that you have to drop the ball on your balls. It's time you bring sexy back in 2022 and step up your game with Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped to help them ring in the new year with the right tools for the job. Go to manscaped.com and use code ALPHAKAI for 20% off plus free shipping. It's a new year, new you, and a new you means no pubes. Talking about a new year, a six-pack is a great New Year's resolution. No, not that six-pack, but a six-pack for your balls. The Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 contains 6 essential tools for the ultimate below-the-waist grooming routine. The Dally M of the Performance Package remains the signature Lawnmower 4.0, with this electric trimmer designed to trim hair on loose skin. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code ALPHAKAI at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code ALPHAKAI. Have no regrets this year with our friends at Manscaped. Now back into the video. Going into the 2018 season, Olam was still a long-term project for the Storm, as they had Curtis Scott and Will Chambers still occupying the centres. Olam continued to work extremely hard for the Sunshine Coast Falcons, and was to get his reward as a late call-up for Scott in round 9 against the St George Illawarra Dragons in 2018. Olam had an okay debut, running for 100 metres and providing a try assist for Josh Addo-Carr. His game lacked polish at this time, as with every barnstorming run would be a misread in defence leading to a try. This became a reoccurring theme for Olam through the 3 NRL matches he played in 2018, with the Storm still unsure whether Olam was NRL quality. Justin remembers a spray early on in his career by Craig Bellamy, after several mistakes against the Gold Coast Titans in his rookie year. His career had almost hit a wall, as he would spend the majority of the 2019 season back in the Queensland Cup, after underperforming in his 3 NRL performances the previous season. It was not until round 15 of the 2019 season where he'd be called upon again to first grade. There was pressure riding this performance, as Olam claimed himself. I was holding back and not playing without fear. I was scared that I wasn't making an impression and that if I didn't play well, I would be dropped. He would line up against Premier winger Joey Manu and played with intent, with controlled aggression in defence and hard ball running in attack. Olam described this as a turning point, and his following performances highlighted this. In round 17, he would score his first NRL try, breaking Josh Morris's nose in the process. In the final 7 games of the regular season, he would score 7 tries, with his hat-trick against Manly a standout performance. By finals time, it was Olam's centre position to lose, as Justin had jumped onto the scene in quick time as one of the higher quality centres in the competition. Craig Bellamy, the Supercoach himself, had not even foreseen this rise, with Bellamy saying,
I think he's been with us 3 years. I must say the first 12, 18 months, I don't think anyone's seen NRL in Justin.
Olam's rise had been meteoric, as his sacrifice of leaving his home country and persistent hard work had finally been paying off. With Olam solidifying himself now as a starter in the NRL, he now looked ahead to progressing into one of the elite centres in the competition and a premiership winner. Olam went from strength to strength in 2020 as his play secured a 2-year contract extension until the 2022 season end. A great relief for Olam, who only a season earlier believed he may never see that extension. Justin would outline his main goal for 2020 was to follow in PNG greats footsteps Marcus Byers and win a premiership ring for the Melbourne Storm. Olam would improve his tackling efficiency in 2021 and chip in with a career-high 11 tries across the season. Olam became one of the Storm's consistent pieces, as he was now making the right reads in defence and had reduced his handling errors. Olam was awarded for his 2020 performances by the Melbourne Storm with the Most Improved Player of the Year. His play strengthened the Storm's left side defence and was the big reason to why Melbourne found themselves in the grand final against the Panthers team, who had lost only once all season. Olam was 1 game away from realising an NRL dream, one that was backed by the entirety of Papua New Guinea. Thousands would flock to the nearest TV across PNG as they tried to get a glimpse of their national hero. Olam would set the home country alight as he scored the inaugural try for the 2020 NRL Grand Final, with it deemed a penalty try. Melbourne would fight off a valiant Penrith comeback and walk out winners, becoming the 2020 premiers. A remarkable moment for both the Storm and Olam, who only 5 years earlier was playing in a semi-professional league in Papua New Guinea. His face filled the front page of papers across his home country as he set out and achieved his goal of emulating Marcus Byers' premiership win 17 years later. This now brings us to 2021, where Olam's career took its biggest jump. Olam had career highs in tackle efficiency, run meters, line breaks, try assists and tries. His increase in try assists was particularly impressive with a total of 10, a great jump from the single try assist he tallied the year prior. He had also garnered the nickname the Human Brick, which was shown in his strong ball running ability, but he also was durable and had not missed a single game for the Storm in 2 seasons. Justin Olam's outstanding season put him as the premier centre in the competition, but it almost had gone unnoticed as Olam was snubbed for a Dally M Centre of the Year nomination. Fellow teammates like Cameron Munster came to Olam's defence, stating, "He's easily a top 3 centre, don't come at me, the system needs a change." The NRL would respond to the outcry from both players and fans, granting Justin with a nomination, saying it was an administrative oversight. NRL legend Andrew Johns had already labelled Olam the best centre in the world, with those comments becoming a reality as he was awarded the Dally M Centre of the Year award. This award validated Olam's incredible rise from a player who had not even played organised footy until university. In just 3.5 NRL seasons, Olam had gone from a fringe roster piece to one of the competition's stars. His story is one of an ultimate underdog, a person whose humble beginnings shaped him into one of the most dedicated and nicest human beings in the sport. Olam is more than just an elite footy player, he's a voice for a nation. With his face plastered across billboards, his impact is likened to that of Cristiano Ronaldo in his home nation of Papua New Guinea. With thoughts on coaching and politics in PNG past his days of his playing career, Olam is an example of the power of sport and the good it can bring to the world. Well viewers, I hope you enjoyed this look at the humble rise of Justin Olam. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that post notification bell for Australian sporting content. And as always, thank you for watching.